This is the north side of the front porch. This handrail has an open end. It's not graspable. Over on the south side of the front porch, closed ends and graspable. So if you've got somebody that needs the support, needs the help of a handrail, somebody old like me, that would be a better handrail. Now there's going to be some discussion about this because of the front porch overhang. Excuse me. But because of the northern and southern exposures, these receptacles should be in-use receptacles. What's an in-use receptacle? An in-use receptacle is like a bubble. So you could plug your Christmas lights in and then close it, and then water wouldn't get in and you could still run your Christmas lights. Now this front porch, or front patio, call it what you will, is like the back one in that it's built up over a concrete slab. And that's fine, and it looks good, and I like it, but there's no ventilation for either one of these decks, the front deck or the back deck. Now coming over here, we're more than 24 inches. Again, we're going to have the overhang rule or whatever, but over 24 inches. This doesn't include masonry. We got different rules for masonry. But we should have Z-bar flashing, cat flashing over here so that the water doesn't work behind here and rot out the window frames. And it will. Now the front door, that's not quite 24 inches, I don't think. What do I keep hearing? I keep hearing an alarm. It wasn't me. Oh, I turned the heater on. That's the only thing I did. Huh. Well, I'll come back and measure this, see if it's 24 inches or not. It's going to drive me crazy today. Maybe the police will come. They can turn it off. Coming along, we got a torn screen. No Z-bar flashing. But we got a nice gap at the bottom of here. We'll get to that here in a moment. Coming along, no longer covered by the front porch, no Z-bar flashing. No Z-bar flashing. And where the arch doesn't require weep holes on masonry, on this wood, they should have had a fabricated flashing for that as well too. They notch it. They put reliefs in it. Let's see how this works. I told you it was going to be long. Rampy's in no hurry. GFCI protected, GFCI protected. I'm going to have to reset this because it might go to the back porch too. That is an in-use cover. That is not an in-use cover. So, one of them's wrong. One of them is wrong. And it's kind of boogered up in there too. So now we look across here. This is our garage. It's barely attached. So it'll be priced accordingly as attached. Darn it. And if you look at the masonry, okay, above the door, we do not have weep hole. Because mortar is porous. The water's going to go through it. In fact, all walls leak. We have to have a way to shed the water. Okay? So over here, no weep holes. Got our luminary sconce. This should have been sealed. No weep holes. No weep holes. Okay, this is fine. No weep holes. No weep holes. And all the stonework around the garage, we have 2 weep holes right there on this one corner. And no weep holes anywhere else. I don't understand that. Fences and gates are beyond the scope of this inspection, but both gates are in pretty bad shape. And we got a loose plank. Ah, a loose plank and a broken plank. Look at that. You see these paving stones? They're nice. I get it. You know, convenient. Your feet don't get muddy or whatever. But they're not dimensionally uniform. So depending on who your guests are, this rain gutter does not discharge water far enough away from the structure. This is our gas meter entering the house. I don't see any bonding yet. Okay, this is our gas meter, and we only have, and this is okay. I'd rather see 2 valves, but this is your main shutoff valve for your gas meter and your gas and everything. So you have that. And again, it'd be nice if you had an isolation valve, but it wasn't required. So now we're going to go up the undimensional steps and try not to trip. We're going to come up here. No Z-bar flash. Oh, you got Z flashing? Is that what I'm seeing? Look at there. We bothered to put it on this door. But something's going on with this door, because check this out. There's some water damage in here. Sure do. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Coming on along down the undimensional steps around the yellow brick road. I have a whole video for the electrical. A tree shouldn't be closer. I get it. It's a crepe myrtle. It's a kitten. Kittens turn into a nasty old tomcat. We don't want the roots taking any moisture around from the foundation perimeter, more extra moisture. We don't want the branches tearing up your roof. We just don't want those things. I'm going to roll over here. A natural fire pit is a natural fire pit. If you put fire in there, you can get burned. Sprinkler heads should not be closer to the flat work than 5 inches. This step is higher than 7 3/4 inches. These seem to be okay. Moving on along. We had Z-bar flashing over that other door, didn't we? Do we have it back over here? No, we don't have it here. And of course we don't have it here. And I get aesthetic reasons, so. And I had a conversation with my client about fresh air for the fireplace and it needing it and opening a door. But this is the combustible air, fresh combustible air for the fireplace. So you don't, opening a window is not required. But they've gone and they framed around it and you're not getting enough combustible air. Look at that. Is that enough? And this is interesting. We got a gas connection here on the patio. Okay. Gas connection on patio. Fireplace combustible air is choked down. Okay, if you put a grill out here, it's going to stain all this. Check the grill manufacturer's instructions. So if you get a grill out here, you really should be grilling out there. And I get convenience, you know, you can grill on a misty evening or whatever, but no, you're not supposed to grill on your patio. This patio has the same issues, by the way, as the front porch, in that we do not have any ventilation around here, okay? So any water that gets in here, and I can look down in here and there's ground, okay? So this is just a grade beam that's going around this patio. I'll have to take a better look at the front porch. So there's ground underneath there. We have trapped any moisture that's in the ground as it tries to escape. Okay, we're just trapping it. We don't have any, you know, except for these slots. We don't have any ventilation. What happens when the moisture gets trapped on the wood underneath there like that? What happens? Okay, well, I'll tell you what happens. That happens. That right there. This is what happens. Okay, see that wood rot? Why did that happen? Because we're not got enough ventilation. Probably got some contributing factors too, you know. I bet we do. Like no kick-out flashing there, and the rain gutter's too close to the wall. So we got more water issues coming down here. No ventilation here. You know, put them all together. It's a lot of good yard here, man. Surface drain. Good to know. AstroTurf. Another surface drain, because the water's coming down this way and we're managing it. And probably for the water coming out from over here, because we got these retaining walls. I wasn't here when they installed these retaining walls. I don't know if there's any geogrid or dead men back here. You know, these just all look like they're just raw dog stacked. And so, is it performing the function for which it's intended? Sure, it's what it looks like to me. You know, as far as longevity, it looks like we got a little bit of erosion starting around here. Water's coming in. Where does the water go? Downhill. We got all these nice little holes over here. Yeah, we do. There's a rain gutter downspout. Okay, it's become disconnected. And this fascia board over here, we got two cracks. One crack over there. Okay, portable sheds are beyond the scope of this inspection. That's not a real estate improvement. Hang on, Grampy's got to mosey around here. Think water's going to get off and on in there? I do. See, it's just stacked up. Alright. I'm not saying it's not working, but it is moving. You can see the movement. But I'll bet you, you know, if they just stack it like that, you know, I don't have a lot of faith there's any geogrid in there, any dead men, any additional support. Rain gutters are going down below grade. I don't see any water stains. I got to make the track. Okay, there's a drain right there. So the water comes down. They're doing a pretty good job of managing it. So for the time being, this retaining wall looks like it's okay today. Should have an in-use cover. $10 years old, that's another story. Okay, all this debris needs to get away from the house. Okay, not the best solution, but it is allowed to have drip line above grade if it's secured every 12 inches. But was it? No, it wasn't secured every 12 inches. This is laying out here. So people can trip on it, yard people can trip on it, susceptible to damage. All that should have been covered. Let me come over here and I see this. Okay, these are weep holes. We put weep holes where we wanted them, where we needed them, excuse me. We put weep holes there. Check that out. Do we have any weep holes over our windows? No, we don't. Sometimes we decide to do weep holes, sometimes we decide not to do weep holes. What's that about? Crawl up in here, see all this debris? You just want termites? All these bushes next to the house? Call me up later and say, hey bud, we got termites in the house. And I go, oh yeah, really? Over there where that little crepe myrtle and these are trees. And those, you know, red elms or whatever they call those things. Yeah, that's where they came in. Okay. Don't say I didn't tell you. Bushes touching the house, bushes touching the house.